I want to share a parable with you that I think is very timely. It's about a boy, a long time ago, a young boy who was playing with a golden lamp. This is in the foothills of Tibet, and the little boy, he shook it. He shook up this lamp, and then a genie appeared. When the genie appeared, he said that he'd grant the boy one wish. He told the boy that he could either choose from possessions or knowledge. The young boy thought about it for a minute, and then he asked the genie to grant him knowledge. He said he'd take knowledge. He said he saw more value in the knowledge than in the possessions. Later on in life, that young boy grew up to be a man, and he was later asked why he chose knowledge when he could have all the riches in the world. The boy replied saying that the knowledge that the genie granted him allowed him to discover many truths in life. One being that even though a person was rich in possessions, they still may not bring about great change. He said that choosing knowledge first allowed him to become rich in wisdom, and that wisdom was passed to his family, to his friends, and they became rich in knowledge. And it started to spread from their tiny village to another village, all the way to the capital city of the king. And years later, a soldier appeared at the entrance of their tiny village with a letter for that young boy who was now a man. It read, "I freed your people. They shall no longer remain under my rule in bondage. I chose riches over knowledge, and for this, my people have suffered." So what does all that mean, right? What's the takeaway here? I know what you're probably thinking. Yo, Vernon, what you talking about, man? I like my possessions, man. I like my house. I like my car. Got to get this money, baby. That's what we here. We here to get this money. I'm not telling you not to get money. I live in a house. I drive a car. I'm more well off than many people in other parts of the world that I've met. What I am saying is that cannot be our only end game. If we live in one of the most richest countries in the world, but there's people that are on the streets that are starving. There's kids that are in school that are not getting properly educated. There are people that don't have the basic needs to meet a decent standard of living in our own country. We have a problem. We have been blinded by what we think is the path. We have chosen possessions and materialism over knowledge, over something that should be passed on. It's crazy when you think about it. It really is, because we can't take all this stuff with us when we die. I think about people like Martin Luther King. I think about people like Gandhi. I think about people like Mother Teresa. They weren't riding in Bentleys, y'all. They didn't have mega mansions. And those people were the ones who changed the world. Imagine that. People that actually give a damn about someone else other than themselves. I'm not saying don't get money. Get your money, get your paper. You got to eat, I know. But that can't be your only end game. That can't be my only end game. If it is, if all we do is pursue more, and we pillage and rape the planet, what are we leaving behind? What legacy are we leaving behind for our kids, our grandkids, our great-great-grandkids? What type of society are we creating for them to live in? It's not a pretty one. No, it's not a pretty one. It starts now with us being aware. It starts now with us accepting knowledge as superior than a fucking iPhone. It's crazy. It's crazy that we've sold ourselves out and hoard ourselves out to stuff when everything that we need. I mean, we've never lived in a time in history where there's been more information and knowledge available to people to consume than any other time in history. I mean, you got people in Bangladesh getting money because they got the internet. You got people who are changing the world because they got the internet. They're doing amazing things. And you can do amazing things too. What if everybody who had a skill set, who had knowledge, helped one person become better than they were at that? Wow. Imagine that world. That's a world I want to live in. That's a world you should want to live in. But it starts with us. It starts right here. It starts right now. Knowledge over possessions. Impact over ego. That's how we got to start thinking about the future, people. Because if we don't, the world's going to be a scary place.